Is Arushi Dev. We warmly welcome you all to day 2 of our 1 week workshop on qualitative and quantitative data analysis using SPSS and R. Before we begin, we sincerely apologize for the inconvenience caused yesterday. Due to some technical issues, the session couldn't be conducted as planned. The missed session will now be held on Saturday morning and will focus on SPSS, and the evening will be as per the schedule. We truly appreciate your patience and understanding. The last session was an insightful one where we covered the measures of central tendency, mean, median, and mode, and the measures of dispersion as range, variance, and standard deviation. We also explored key concepts like skewness and kurtosis, which helped us better understand the nature and distribution of the data and other topics as well. Now, I'd like to hand over it to Arushi to take you through what's planned for today.
Thank you, Tanisha. Today we'll be moving ahead with the next important topic, which is hypothesis testing. In this session, we'll learn about the null and alternative hypothesis, p values, types of errors, and the steps involved in testings like the t test, f test, chi square test, and ANOVA, along with their assumptions and interpretations. For those of us who couldn't join us in our previous session, we once again have with us our esteemed resource person, Dr. Anju Goyal, Associate Professor, Department of Statistics, Punjab University. Before we begin, we request everyone to please keep your mic on mute unless asked to unmute so that the session can proceed smoothly without any disturbance. Now, without any further delay, let's begin our insightful session on hypothesis testing with Dr. Anju Goyal.
Thank you. Thank you for the Mata Sundari College organizer to give me opportunity. This is my second lecture. I think I am audible clearly.
Yes, ma'am,
Now
you are
let's we
audible.
start today topic that is our testing of hypothesis.
All please switch off your camera except speaker.
Uh, Today contents is testing of hypothesis, one sample test for the means, and also the two sample test for difference of means. One sample test for the variance means variance testing, two sample test for the ratio of the variances, ANOVA, ANCOVA, MANOVA, and MANCOVA. All this topic is very difficult to cover in one lecture, but we will try our best to cover as most as possible. As you know that, as we discussed day before yesterday lecture, what is the population? That is the all possible value. And what is the sample? Just 1 minute, go to the full screen. What is a sample? Sample is nothing but the part of a population. And based on the sample, we try to infer the population or estimate the population. So two forms of statistical inference. First one is the testing of hypothesis testing, and the second one is the estimation. Estimation we are not covering this lecture. Only we are covering the hypothesis testing. So what these two terms are very important and plays very important role in the testing of our hypothesis. First one is the parameter. The characteristics of the population is called the parameter. Means if we are measuring anything in the population, mean, median, mode, or the variance and the correlation of the population, it is called the parameter. If the characteristic we are measuring of the sample, it is called the statistic. Sample mean sample correlation coefficient, sample proportion, all are the statistic because this is based on the sample. That picture we also discussed day before yesterday. Population, we are taking the population, from the population we are taking the sample, that is called data, and finding the statistic and define the statistics. We are trying to estimate the parameter or estimate the parameter or doing the testing of the parameter based on the test statistic. Now, testing of hypothesis. So, what is hypothesis? Hypothesis is nothing but the statement or an assumption about the relationship between the variables. Or hypothesis is tentative explanation for certain behavior, phenomena, or events that have occurred or will occur. But in the hypothesis, when we are defining the hypothesis, we are talking about the population, not the sample. We are talking about the population. And now types of the hypothesis. This is important. Null hypothesis and the alternate hypothesis. When we are not considering the difference of two things, that is our null hypothesis. When we are saying that they are same, both are same, that is our null hypothesis. And what is the alternative hypothesis? Based on the alternative, sometime what happened, the experiment define our null hypothesis based on the alternative hypothesis. Suppose that one experimenter is interested that my drug is better than the existing one. If it is better than the existing one, so what is the null hypothesis? That is less than or equal to that existing one. So this is nothing as equivalent, is only the null hypothesis. Based on the alternative, we define our null hypothesis. Each of following statement as example of the null hypothesis, all the or the alternative hypothesis. So various type of H note and HA cases. First one is null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. If our alternative hypothesis is two-sided, then our null hypothesis is equal to mu. Mu is our parameter, that is mean of the population, and it is denoted by mu. That is very common notation we use. If we are saying that mu is equal to mu naught is some specific value, suppose that it is 5, then the alternative is 5, mu is not equal to 5. If we are considering that our null alternative hypothesis is mean is greater than 5, then the null hypothesis is, what is null hypothesis? That is less than equal to 5. Similarly, if alternative is mu is less than 5, then our null hypothesis is greater than equal to 5. Sometimes what happens, someone define firstly null hypothesis, then alternative hypothesis. That is not necessary. Based on the alternative, we define our null hypothesis. And this the first one is our two-sided alternative. It may be less than or greater than, but these two are the one-sided alternative. This is important, one-sided alternative. Now, when we are doing the testing, two types of errors in the testing. The first one is type 1 error. The second one is type 2 error. And the what is type 1 error? Sometimes what happens, you define the test statistics, and based on that test statistics, you are rejecting H naught. But actually, it's not rejecting, it's accepting. It means reject H naught when it is true. You are rejecting, but it was true. That is type 1 error. And what is type 2 error? We do not reject H naught when H naught is false. Or you can say that alternative is true. This is type 2 error. Type 1 error and type 2 error. And the probability of type 1 error, what is the probability of occurring type 1 error? Is alpha. Be clear. What is the probability of occurring type 1 error? Is alpha, and it is also called level of significance. And probability of type 2 error is denoted by beta, and 1 minus beta is our power. 1 minus beta is our power. Now, question arises that obviously these are the errors. We will try to minimize it. Is it possible to minimize both the errors simultaneously? Is it? Please answer the question. Is it? To minimize both the errors simultaneously?
No, ma'am.
No more. So which one we will minimize first?
Ma'am, alpha, because alpha is more, means,
Crucial.
yes, ma'am, that's fine.
Is it true? Anyone else? Which one is not agree for that? She said that type 1 error is more crucial than type 2 error. Is it? Any
Ma'am,
comment?
I'm not been able to understand type 2 error. So I'm not able to answer
Pardon?
the question. Ma'am,
You
I
are
have not
saying
been
that
able to understand type 2 error.
type 2 error is more crucial?
No, I'm saying I have not been able to understand what exactly is type 2 error.
Type 2 error. Are you able to understand what is type 1 error?
Yes, ma'am.
क्या है?
Ma'am,
What is type 1?
when it is proved to be true, but we reject it as a researcher,
Which
that
one?
is
Which
type
one?
1
H
error.
note? H note na? H note na?
H not, yes, ma'am.
H note, you rejected H note, but it is true. Am I right?
Mm. Yes, ma'am.
तो उससे अपोजिट टाइप 2 एरर हो गया.
अच्छा, मतलब
You do not reject H note when it is false.
okay.
Means in the layman you accept the H note when it was false. Is it?
Got it, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Now, one participant is saying that type 1 error is more crucial than type 2 error. Today is time of discussion is very less because it's lengthy lecture. So I want to say that it's depend upon which point of view you are looking. Is point you are looking, suppose that one company making the drug. If it is making the drug and the lot is rejecting, जबकि उसको accept करना था, then it is beneficial for the producer or the consumer. Producer is accepting the lot, actual उसको reject करना था. Which type of error? Accepting the lot when it should be rejected.
Should be type 2.
2. Or it is beneficial for the producer, but not for the consumer because they are taking the wrong drugs.
Yes.
Is it? So you can't say that. Very interesting book, बहुत small book है that one in our library. That is the only theoretical type of book. One line they have written that you can't say that which one is crucial because that depend upon that one कि किसके point of view से you are looking. Is it clear? One is our producer risk, one other one is our consumer risk. In the quality control, definitely you will read or you read. So it means, but it's very difficult to minimize both the errors simultaneously. That's why what we'll do, we fix one error and try to minimize the second one. So we fix the first one, probability of type 1 error, that is our alpha. Experimenter fix as per their convenient. 5%, 1%, 0.1%, and try to minimize the second one to increase the power because 1 minus probability of type 2 error is our power. Is it okay? Now, what is this one? We are assuming that the data is coming from the normal distribution and we will consider the parametric testing. If we are considering the parametric testing and we know the distribution of the sample, from which distribution it's coming, generally we assume that it's coming from the normal distribution and the shape of the normal distribution is this slide. This is bell shape and the mean is 0. It is central value. The mean is, you can easily see that this is 0. And what is this one? This cover the 5%. At 5%, the values are minus 1.96 and 1.96. And this is on 1%, minus 2.58 to 2.58. And this is nothing but 0.1%, minus 3.30 to 3.30. So this middle part, this one, are you able to see my arrow? This one, please let me know.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, ma'am.
okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So this area is our acceptance region. And this area is our, if I am considering the 5%, so this area is our rejection reason. This is our acceptance reason. This is our rejection reason. If the value, what is the meaning of acceptance reason and the rejection reason? If the value lie here, then we reject our H naught. If the value lie here, then we do not reject our H naught. So, step in hypothesis testing. Firstly, you define the null hypothesis, then the alternative hypothesis, then define the level of significance. We collect the sample, or sample is called data, and then we define the test statistic under H naught. And after that, we calculate a test statistic and construct our acceptance reason, and the rejection reason. And based on the steps 4 and 5, draw a conclusion about H naught. If we will reject or do not reject. Is it clear to all? And this one is our, the rejection reason is also called the critical reason. To use a rejection reason to conduct a hypothesis test, calculate the standardized test statistics Z. If the standardized test statistics is in the rejection region, then we reject H naught. Is not in the rejection region, then fail to reject H naught. So this is our H naught. It's our rejection reason. ये थोड़ा सा I think it's just sliding down. This is our rejection reason, and this is our uh, light pink color is our acceptance reason. Fail to reject H naught means we are accepting H naught. This is one-sided left tail test means one-sided mu is less than mu naught. It is our right tail test means mu is greater than mu naught. And it is our two-sided where mu is not equal to mu naught. It may be in the left rejection, the value lies in the left rejection or the right one. Now the p-value. Before going to the p-value, one question whose background from the statistic, I want to ask that how many methods in the statistics to take the decision about the rejection of H naught. One method I have already told. You will calculate the test statistic value and compare with the tabulated value, and then you are able to take the decision you will reject or not. But this method is difficult for those students who are applying using the software. Then you are not able to find the tabulated value from the table and then compare it. Then we go to the p-value. And p-value, from the p-value, you can easily check that you are rejecting the H naught or do not reject the H naught. P-value is nothing but the actual level of significance. Means if it is less than alpha, alpha is our level of significance, then it is significant. What is the meaning of significant? If it is less than alpha, we are rejecting H naught. Anyone can tell me one thing? When we are rejecting H naught, then we are saying that it is significant. Why? Why not accepting H naught is significant? Significant मतलब जो हमारे in the layman, significant मतलब means in favor. So rejecting H naught is why in favor? Anyone? When alpha means if you are taking 0.05, agar p value is less than 0.05, then we say that reject H naught. And we are saying that it is significant. Why? Because experiment when design the null hypothesis, it never wants that, he or she never wants that the drug is as equivalent as the existing one. It may be better than. So that's why the experiment never in the favor of accepting H naught. That's why when it's rejecting H naught, it is significant. And when our p value is greater than alpha, it means it is non-significant. It means we are accepting H naught. Please write down this one. This is very important. I am again
मैं
repeating. हाँ, please.
मैम मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया, आप एक बार ये और समझा दो.
हाँ, मैं वही बताने लगी थी. What is our alpha? Alpha is 0.05. Am I right? If you are applying the test on the अगर आपको definition, if you are not able to understand, definitely when we apply on the SPSS, then I will let you know in detail. Okay, but I am repeating once again.
Okay.
Alpha is suppose that I am taking 0.05 and p value is 0.025. So it is less than or greater than. I'm again repeating, alpha is 0.05, 5%, and p value comes out 0.025. It is less than or greater than
Greater than.
0.025. I am taking.
Less than.
Oh,
It is less than. It is
less
less
than.
than.
Sorry.
Less than. If it is less than, it means you are rejecting H naught. Means on the based on the p value, you are able to take the decision you are rejecting H naught or you do not reject H naught. Is it clear? And when we are rejecting H naught, we say that it is significant. Or if we are not rejecting H naught, if p value is greater than, suppose that it is 0.25, so then it is greater than 0.05. It means we are accepting H naught, it is non-significant. Now it is clear?
Yes.
Okay. Select the suitable test. This is very important slide. You can take the picture also if you want. This is very important. Because someone asked in the day before yesterday lecture, what is the parametric and the non-parametric test? Test the suitable test of significant or the test statistic. Whether the test involve one sample, be clear, two sample or multiple sample. Suppose that you are taking the mean of one class, कि उनके marks is it greater than 80, less than 80 or equal to 80. That is one sample. If you are comparing two classes, A class and B class, that is two sample. If you are comparing more than two classes, then it is multi-sample problem. So whether two or more sample use are independent or related. Definitely I will give the example of independent or the related. Is it measurement scale nominal, ordinal, interval or ratio? These tests depend upon all these things. First one is the population is normal or not. That you will check by the histogram or by that using the test. Test also exist in the literature that the population is coming from the normal or not. If it is yes, then, or if it is no, then. If it is yes, then we check because the normal distribution have two parameters. One is mean, other one is the variance. Maybe it is possible two classes have same mean, but the variations are more. That's why to consider the variation is as important as mean. So standard deviation is known or unknown. If it is known, then we use the jet test. If it is unknown, then we use the t test. Now tell me one thing. Is it possible in the real life the population variance is known? Is it? Anyone can tell me? Is it possible that the population variance, suppose that if you are doing the testing that experimenter wants that ki how many cardio heart diseases patient in the Chandigarh, the variance is known. What is the variation? It's never happened. That's why jet test never exist in the SPSS. Jet test nahi hota. So we have only the T. When the variances are unknown, so we estimate it by the sample value. Now, if the sample size, if the data is not
Ma'am,
coming
can
from
you
the
please repeat?
Is it possible that the population variance is known?
It is
It's
unknown.
never. Pardon? Pardon? It is known? If you are experimenter doing some experiment and consider the population कि यहाँ से मुझे sample, we will collect the sample from this population. The variance is known. It not possible. The variance is known. If it is possible in rare cases, then we use the Z test. Otherwise, we use the T test. And the second one is that this one, if the sample size is greater than 30, then we use the Z test, because for the large sample we said that the sample it's follow the normal distribution. If it is sample size is small, then we use the non-parametric test. If so indirectly it's that if the population is not normal, then we use the parametric test, non-parametric test. Now, single sample testing. We have two parameters. One is mean, mu, and another one is the variance. So what we'll do, firstly we do the testing of the mean, then we do the testing of the variance. So I am taking the testing of the mean. Consider a population is normal distributed with mean mu and variance sigma square, and random sample of size n from the normal population. X bar is our sample mean and S square is our sample variance. Case 1, when mu is unknown and variance is known. This is same as the population variance. So what is our H naught? H naught, we are considering that mu is equal to mu naught, and mu naught is nothing but some specified value that is given, and alternative may be not equal to, may be greater than, may be less than. Not equal to is two-sided alternative, and greater than and less than is one-sided alternative. And our test statistic is x bar minus mu upon sigma divided by square root of n, that follow the standard normal distribution. So our test statistics will become this one. Those who are not from the statistic background, there is no need to focus on this statistic. This is only for those students who are from the statistic background. I will give you the example only, and the p-value I will show that, and based on that you can easily find out. And test is reject H naught in favor of this one if this happen, in favor of alternative 3 if this happen, or alternative 1 if this happen at alpha percent level of significance. Otherwise, you have the sample, you will apply the Z test, you can easily find out the p-value. If p-value is less than alpha, then you reject H naught, and H naught is same, that is this one. The mean is equal to some specific value or not, or alternative is not equal to, greater than, and less than. This is for those students who are statistic background. And this is the third one. You can also take the decision by using the confidence interval. This is our confidence interval. This is our lower value. This is our lower value, this one. And this one is our upper value. If mu naught, if this value, mu naught, is lies between this interval, then we say accept H naught, otherwise do not. When we do the practical, then you can easily see that how can we do the testing. Now the case 2, when mu is unknown but sigma square is also unknown. In that case, our test statistic is this one. Here is sigma square is replaced by the statistic sample variance, standard error S. And under H naught, the test statistic will become this one. And we reject H naught in favor of alternative 2 if this happen, alternative 3 if this happen, if the calculated value is less than the tabulated value, or not equal to if this happen. And this is our confidence interval. Again, mu naught if lies between this interval, we say that accept H naught, otherwise we do not accept H naught, or we reject H naught. And this is the example. Suppose that the following are the intraocular pressure value recorded for a sample of 21 elderly subjects. These are the 21 subjects. Can we conclude from this data that the mean of the population is different from 14? It means mu naught is your 14 or alpha is your 5%. Also construct the 95% confidence interval for the population mean. मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा by using R because the code of R. That's why I writing here. But definitely we will run this data on the SPSS. This type of result will come, and this is our p value. So anyone can tell me if this is our p value, so we rejecting H naught or not? P value is greater than 0.05.
We will reject null hypothesis.
We will reject null hypothesis. What is the interpretation if you are rejecting H naught? What is the interpretation?
Non-significant.
Pardon?
Non-significant.
Non-significant. So what is the meaning of that one?
Mean value is not 14.
Very good. It means this is our sample. We are saying that mu is equal to 14 means each and every value lies near 14. Am I right? And when we rejecting H naught, it means no, we are accepting H naught. No? We are accepting H naught. What is the meaning of that one? This is non-significant ना? Non-significant में हम क्या करेंगे?
Accept H naught.
हाँ, accept H naught. Accept H naught means the mean value is equal to 14. It means each and every value of the population lie near 14. Am I right? Is there any doubt? Please let me know if you have any doubt.
Ma'am, can you please explain the meaning of significant once again?
Significant means we are not accepting H naught. Means we rejecting H naught. Significant का what is the meaning of significant in Hindi? बताइए. Who asked the question, please let me know what is the meaning of significant.
Ma'am, important.
Important. Significance, obviously important. So we are saying that when we rejecting H naught, na, it's significant. When we rejecting, I'm just taking 2 minutes break, just 1 minute. You think about this one, I'm just coming, okay? And then I will ask again. Yes. Uh, Sorry for 2 minutes break. It's visible to all, or I am audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Hanji. Now I am again repeating. You have the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. Okay, that defined by the experiment. What is the null hypothesis? What is the alternative hypothesis? But our motive and the experimenter motive, we are rejecting H naught or we do not reject H naught. And three methods are there. One is to compare the calculated value with the tabulated. If you are non-statistician, then please don't go with this one method if you are comparing calculated with the tabulated. So the second method is p-value. P-value, the computer software can calculate easily, and based on that you can take the decision you are rejecting H naught or you are not rejecting H naught. If p-value is less than, this is alpha, that is given alpha, you will compare p-value from this alpha. If it is less than 5%, it means less than 5%. Please note down. If p-value is less than alpha, then you are rejecting H naught. Rejecting H naught means it's significant. Why it's significant? Because when the experimenter define the null hypothesis, that one will not define in favor कि उसने accept करना है, कि he or she is in the favor that they are accepting. That's why the rejection is always significant. So p value is less than alpha, we rejecting H naught and it is significant. If p value is greater than alpha, it is non-significant or insignificant. Now it is clear, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So our p value is greater than alpha. So it means we do not reject H naught. It means all the values near 40. Now, two sample problems. If we want to two sample, so first assumption is that they are independent or they are not. So what is the meaning of independent? Suppose that I am taking 10 students and check that, note their marks. And the second sample we are taking that are the different 10 persons than students, not the same, and noting the marks. So these are independent. If I am considering the same students, they are dependent because they are not independent. Independent, you are taking different experimental units. Now tell me, if I am comparing two creams, you know na, creams, A and B, and I am taking 10 persons, and left hand I am applying A cream, on the right hand I am applying B cream. They are independent sample or the dependent sample? We have two creams. I want to compare these two cream A, cream B, and I am taking 10 persons. On the left arm I am applying cream A, on the right arm of the same persons I am applying B cream. So they are dependent sample or independent sample?
Dependent sample.
Exactly, they are dependent sample because the arms तो एक ही persons की है, the same person I am using the arm. That one is our dependent sample. So but the assumption of this test is the sample, both sample be independent, and I am taking x bar and y bar be the sample mean of the first sample and the second sample. S1 square and S2 square are the sample variance of x and y, and S square is our pooled variance. I am again repeating, those are from not statistic background, don't we go in the mathematical expressions, but it's necessary to let you know because for the testing those from the statistics background. Our null hypothesis is this one: mu1 is equal to mu2, or we can say that mu1 is minus mu2 is equal to 0. Now, anyone can tell me why I am taking the difference? Why not a mu1 is divided by mu2? This is very important question.
Yeah, because we are assuming that both the creams have same effectiveness, so there is no change in their effectiveness. So therefore the difference is 0.
But I'm just comparing two. So why I'm not taking the ratio? Why I'm taking the difference?
Well, difference is in null hypothesis, we assume that there is no difference between the two. So obviously the value will be 0. 1 minus 1 will be 0. Whereas in
But
ratio, 1 divided
you are correct from your own side. But sometimes what happen, we don't know about the effectiveness, etc. I'm just taking the value mu1 is some value and mu2 has some value. Okay. So why are taking the difference? Because these are the location parameters. These are
Okay.
we are changing plus or minus. Because जब हम variance पे when we go for the variance ना, sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square, then we are not able to take the difference. We are taking the ratio. And we divide, when we divide, then equal to 1. Because they are
Yeah,
the scalar.
because I think because mean is the absolute measure and standard
Yeah,
deviation is the relative
exactly.
measure.
Because yeah, because mean is our location parameter. We are changing according to the origin. Origin ke to plus या minus. Is it clear? And the alternative is not equal to, greater than, and less than. Again, the two cases we will consider. The case one and that both the variances are known or equal or unknown. So firstly, we assume that they are known. If they are known, then we use the Z test. We standardize it under H naught because mu1 and minus mu2 is 0. So under H naught, this value is equal to 0. And Z is our this one. And we reject H naught in favor of H2. That is, if a calculated value is greater than tabulated, then we reject H naught. Otherwise, we do not. Same test 2, case 2, when variances are unknown. In t-test, we consider case 2 when the variances are unknown but equal also. So then this is our test statistic. Or under H note, the test statistic becomes this one. And similarly, we are able to find out the confidence interval. If 0, now we check that if 0 is lies between these confidence interval, then we accept H naught, otherwise we reject H naught. One thing I want to tell you, accept H naught is the not the correct pronunciation. Do not reject is the correct pronunciation. And similarly, if the 0 is lies between this confidence interval, then we do not reject, otherwise we reject. This is the example. Below are given the gain in weights of pigs fed of two diets, A and diet A and diet B. Gain in weight. Because these are the independent sample, the sample size may vary. It may be possible the size of diet A is different from the size B. Assuming the sample to be independent and having equal but unknown population variances, test whether any significant difference between these diet or not, and construct the two-sided confidence interval. So when we enter the data and try to find out, this is our p-value. Now what is the interpretation? Anyone can tell me? This is our p-value.
Reject
P-value
the null
is
hypothesis. That is, we do not accept the null hypothesis.
Do not accept. ये तो मैंने pronunciation ही नहीं कोई use करी.
Sorry, ma'am. Do not reject.
Do not
Do not
reject.
reject null hypothesis.
Exactly. Do not reject H naught means you are accepting it. It means both the sample are coming from the same population. These samples are coming from the same population means means are equal. Diet A have the same mean as the diet B. Is it clear to all? Because both have the same mean. You are accepting H naught. Now the case 3, when variances are not equal. In that case, the degree of freedom will change mu1. Otherwise, testing, or this is called the Fisher-Barron test. Testing procedure is same. So its value is again p-value, means are equal. They are coming from the same population. Now this is important. When two samples are not independent, they are dependent. For example, I am taking your test and noting down the marks. And after giving this workshop, I am again taking your test and checking your marks. So is it difference? Obviously, some improvement will happen before and the after. Similarly, pre-test or post-test, what is the changes? So this type of test, when the samples are dependent, because you are considering same participants, I am taking the test of the same participants. So these are the dependent sample, and it is also called the pair t-test. And this is example: 10 experimental animals were subjected to conditions simulating diseases. The number of heartbeats per unit before and after the experiment were recorded as follow: before and after. Do these data provide the sufficient evidence to indicate that the experimental condition increases the number of heartbeats per minute? So I will enter the data, and my p value is this one. This is, what is this one? This is 0.00004, means p value is 0.00. It is significant, it is highly significant, means before and after there is changes. You can easily see from the data also. First the heartbeat rate is 70, 84, 80. After that it is 115, 148, 176. Is it clear to all? Pair t-test and the p-value, how you are able to check it is significant or non-significant. Any doubt till now? Please let me know if you have any doubt, or go further. चलें फिर आगे. Now the testing of the sample variance, population variance. So testing for the variance, we take again the sample from the normal population. Now we are doing the testing of the variance. H naught sigma square is equal to sigma naught square, where sigma naught square is some specific value. Alternatives are same, two-sided is not equal to, and one-sided is greater than or less than. And first case again is same when mu is known. So the test statistic is this one, and under net H naught the test statistic is this one, chi-square, and it follows the chi-square with n degree of freedom. This is the procedure when we calculated, comparing the calculated value with the tabulated value. Otherwise, by using the p value also, we check that we are rejecting H naught and we do not reject H naught. And case 2, when mu is unknown, then we mu replaced by the sample mean, that is x bar, and it again follow the chi-square with n minus 1 degree of freedom. And based on that, we can easily compare that we are rejecting H naught or we do not reject H naught. Now, two sample problem. When x1, x2, xn1 be a sample of size n1 from a normal population with mean mu1 and variance sigma square 1, and y1, y2, yn2 be a random sample of size n2 from a normal population with mean mu2 and variance sigma 2 square, and we are comparing the two population variances. And now here we are taking the ratio sigma 1 square ratio divided by sigma 2 square is equal to 1, not equal to, greater than and less than. What is the need of this test? When we apply the t-test for the independent sample, then we check that, क्योंकि हमने वहां assume किया था ना, the variances are equal or variances are not equal. So we apply F test first, then we apply the T test. Which T test will apply, that depend upon this testing. If we are rejecting H naught or we do not reject H naught. So what is the test statistic? This is F test statistic, and based on that we are able to reject or do not reject H naught. If means are unknown, then again it follow the F test, but the degree of freedom will change out, and that based on that we are able to accept or reject. This is the same data that we consider in the T test. This is the same data below are given in the gain in weights of pig fat of two diets, gain in weights, and assuming the sample to be independent and having equal. यहाँ पे लिखा है ना equal. But now we test that कि it is equal or not. And when we check that, what is the p value? This is highly significant. Highly significant means, let me know what is the meaning. When we are applying the F test on the, we are assuming that na variances are equal here, but equal, having equal, हमने assume किया था. But when we apply the F test, what is the meaning of this one? This is highly significant.
We reject the
Reject
null.
H naught. It means variances are not equal. If variances are not equal, तो which test we will apply? Fisher-Barron test. Fisher-Barron test we will apply when the variances are not equal. मैंने आपको assumption बताई है ना. I'll let you know. I told you about the assumption in the T test. I'm again showing that here. When the variances are not equal, then we use the Fisher-Barron test. और ये variances कैसे check करेंगे आप? How you are able to check these variances? That we use by the F test, inbuilt test, or non-statistician, please note down. F test we use this one, and according to that p value we will note down कि T test equal variances वाला or not equal variances वाला we use. Is it clear to all? This is the 1 or 2 sample problem. If you have any doubt, you may ask. Please let me know. Are you able to understand all this concept or not?
Ma'am, here p value is greater than 0.05. So,
This is
ma'am,
less than, na beta? This is less than. This is E minus 0.08 means this is 0.0008 times 1329. E minus 0.08 means the value is 0.00001329. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is our significant. Significant means rejecting H naught. Rejecting H naught means variances are not equal. Any other doubt? Any other doubt? Please let me know if you have any doubt or go further. Or may run on the SPSS if you have confusion.
Ma'am, equality of variances are checked from?
F test.
Yes.
If you have any, if you are not able to understand little bit, then we can run on the SPSS if you want. Or further, go further for the ANOVA. That up to you. Please let me know.
Ma'am, ANOVA.
I want to measure only. I think you show on the chat button. Please share the previous class recording. Please put on the chat box if you have any doubt. I'm asking one question. May I run on the SPSS or go for the ANOVA? Are you interested for ANOVA? Ma'am, one way ANOVA. Okay. So let's go for the ANOVA. ANOVA. सबको ANOVA. ANOVA. Is it okay? Anyone can tell me ANOVA कब use करते हैं? When we use the ANOVA? What is
When
the
there
full
is
form of ANOVA? Please.
analysis of variance.
Analysis of variance. बिल्कुल सही. Analysis of the variance. Or when we use it?
When there are more than two means.
When we want to compare more than two samples. Is it clear? So let's go for the ANOVA. One way ANOVA. What is one way ANOVA? To test the hypothesis about the mean on one variable for three or more groups. One way ANOVA, we wish to test the hypothesis mu1 is equal to mu2, so on mu k. Alternative is that not all the population means are same, but it doesn't mean that कि two populations are not equal. It may be सारी की सारी same नहीं है, all are not same, but maybe two are same. Be careful. It may be possible two are same. So what are the assumption? Or these assumption we will check firstly. After that we apply the ANOVA. We assume that the errors are normally distributed with constant variance, and this implies that the populations being sampled are also normally distributed with equal variance. Firstly, we check that the variances of all the samples are equal. That we will check from the two tests. One is the Bartlett test, another one is the Levenet test. Inbuilt test in the SPSS is Bartlett test. Inbuilt test in the R is Levenet test. Is it clear? Now this is our model. Yi is equal to mu plus alpha I plus epsilon ij. Yij is the response from the jth unit receiving the ith population effect. Mu is general mean effect. Alpha I is the effect due to the ith population. Epsilon ij is the error. And this one is the notation. This is the ANOVA table. What is the ANOVA table? What is this one? Treatment's degree of freedom. Those treatments you are comparing, just reduce one from that one. That is your treatment's degree of freedom. Those observation you are using, just subtract one. This is the total degree of freedom. When you are subtracting total minus treatment, that is our error degree of freedom. Total minus treatment. N minus 1 minus k minus 1 is the error degree of freedom. Why it is required? Because when we dividing sum of square by the degree of freedom, that is the mean. What is mean? Mean is the sum of the observation divided by its number of the observation, and degree of freedom is your number of observations, and that we are dividing, that is our mean sum of square, and the ratio of these two is the F ratio. This ratio of 2 is called the F ratio, and based on that F ratio we reject H0 or we do not reject H0 based on that F ratio or the p value. If p value is again less than 0.05, then we reject H0. What is the meaning of reject H0? All the population means are not equal. If we are rejecting H0, if all the population means are not equal, it means 2 may be equal. So which test we will apply? If we want to compare two means, then which test we will apply?
T-test.
T-test. We will not apply the T-test. We will apply the post-hoc test. Because if you will apply the T-test, then suppose that we have three mean. So how many T-tests you will apply? 3. Mu1 is equal to mu2, mu2 is equal to mu3, or mu3 is equal to 1. So alpha, 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 3 alpha. Error will increase. And we will do pairwise comparison at alpha percent level of significance. That is our post hoc test. By using that test, we do the testing of the pairwise. So this is the same. If we are comparing calculated value with the tabulated, then we reject and do not reject the H naught. Now, one way ANOVA can only tell you if the F ratio is significant, but not which group are significantly different from one another. If we estimate each comparison separately with 95 confidence, overall error rate will be greater than 5%. So using ordinary pairwise comparison, lot of individual t-tests, we tend to find too many significant differences between them. Our sample mean. So in this situation, we will apply the post-hoc multiple comparison test. The post-hoc test can identify pairs of groups that significantly differ. Just 1 minute. Someone put the message in the. And post-hoc test can identify pairs of groups that significantly different. 2K, 2KB, both. So many tests are in the post-hoc that we definitely, I will tell you which test will apply in which situation. We need to modify our interval so that the simultaneously contain the two differences with the 95% confidence interval and across the entire set of comparison, and this is called the multiple comparison procedure. This is called the multiple comparison procedure. This is the example. Suppose that we are the weights of a certain organ of a percentage body, weight of 30 laboratory animals. The four treatments are different diets. The animals were fed. The test the null hypothesis of no difference in the diet effect and the test of the significance differences between all the possible pair means at 5% level of significance. So these are our diets and we want to compare these diets. If we are only two diets, then we use the t-test. But we have four diets and we want to compare these four diets. So we are not able to apply the t-test. We apply the ANOVA test. And this is our SPSS because we we will learn the SPSS day after tomorrow, but I'm giving some flavor. We enter the data and go to the analysis and compare means, and there we are able to get it. This one. What is this one? In the first sample, we have 6 observation. You can easily see that in the space in the data. Where is our data? This is our data. How many observations are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many observation in the B? How many observation in the C and the D? You can easily check from this table. 6 observation in the first sample, 7 observation in the second sample, and 9 observation in the third sample, and 8 observation in the fourth sample. These are the means separately. Total 30 observation. These are the standard deviation. These are the minimum value in the sample. These are the maximum value. This is our test, Leibniz statistic. When we apply easily check that the Leibniz statistic, this is our p-value. What is the meaning of p-value? This is non-significant. Means all variances are equal. It means we are achieving our assumption that the variances are equal. All are equal variances. All samples are equal variances. So we can easily apply the ANOVA in this samples. This one is our degree of freedom because we have 4 samples. So 4 minus 1, 3. Total observation were 30. So 30 minus 1, 29. And 29 minus 1 is 26. These are sum of square. Don't worry. Those are not from the statistic background. These will calculate by the SPSS. And when we divide 1.182 by 3, then 1.394 we will get. 0.950 by 26, then 0.035 we will get. And when we take the ratio of these mean square, this F value, and this is our significant value. So anyone can tell me, we are defining the null hypothesis and we are checking this p value. According to that, we are rejecting H naught or we do not reject H naught. Yes, please let me know. Am I audible?
Rejecting H naught.
Rejecting H naught.
Rejecting.
It means rejecting H naught means all the means are not equal. Is it? So it may be possible any two means are equal. So we will apply the post-hoc test. When we apply the post-hoc test, so this type of result you will get. This is the multiple comparison. What is the meaning? What is the interpretation of this slide? I am applying the 2K test, and this is the first group comparing with second, third, and fourth. And these are the p-value. According to that, first group mu1 is equal to mu2 or not? Anyone can tell me this is the p-value for the comparison first group with the second group. Is it means are equal or not? According to this significant value.
Means are equal
Means
for
are
group
equal.
1 and 2.
So means first group is equal to second group. What about first with second?
Not equal.
Not equal.
First and
What
third
about
not
first?
equal.
First and third are not equal. But first and fourth are equal? Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And similarly, we compare the second group with first, third, and fourth. Second and first is same as first and second, that the value is also same 0.525. So there is no worry. And what about second and third? That is highly significant. It means they are not same. Second and third groups are not same. What about second and fourth? They are also not same. Second and fourth are not same. Third and first are not same. Third and second are not same. What about third and fourth? What
They are
about third?
same.
They are same.
Yes, ma'am.
And fourth and one is same as the one first and fourth. Fourth and second, they are not same as the second and fourth. And fourth and third is also same.
Okay.
Is it clear to all? This is the one-way ANOVA. If you have any doubt, you may ask, please. If you have any doubt, you may ask, please. And these are the confidence interval. The result will same as you are looking for the significant value or the confidence interval. If 0 lies between this one, then they are same. If 0 does not, then they are not same. Ab 0 doesn't lie in first and third. Am I right? 0 doesn't lie between this one. So it means the means are not equal. First and third groups are not equal. 0 lie here. It means first and fourth are same. Is it? Is it clear to all? Now we go to for the two-way ANOVA. What is the difference between one-way and two-way ANOVA? Anyone can give one example? What is the difference between one-way ANOVA, two-way ANOVA? In one-way ANOVA, we are comparing only one factor. Suppose that treatment. But in two-way ANOVA, we are taking one more factor. This is the two-way ANOVA. I am giving one example. Suppose that we are giving the drug to the rats, but the rats are not equal weights. We are taking 30 rats and they are not, all of the rats vary from their weights. Then what will we do? We will make the groups. 100 grams rats, 200 gram rats, 300 and 400. And then we apply the drugs on each and every rat. 100 gram first drug we will apply at 100, 200, 300, 400. Second drug same, fourth, third one same, fourth one same. So this is two-way ANOVA. One according to the weight and one from the drug. Is it if you have the same type of rats, 30 rats of same weight, because the concentration level of the drug may vary according to the weights. That's why we are making the groups. Is it clear? So in two-way ANOVA, test hypothesis about the mean on one dependent variable for groups created by the two or more independent variables or the factors. Assumptions are same, but here the sample must be independent. Errors are normally distributed. Variances of the population must be equal. Here is also, firstly check that the variances of the populations are equal or not. And groups must have the same size. And these are the hypotheses. And this is the model. In the one-way ANOVA, we are just taking the alpha I, but in the two-way, we are taking alpha I and the beta J. This is the example. The following data represent the units of production per day turned out by the four different brands of machines used by four machinists. फोर मशीनिस्ट है आपके पास, 4 ही machines है. The performance of the first machine by using the first machinist is 15 units and A2 by B1 is 14, like that. To test whether difference in the performance of the 4 machinists are significant, also whether the difference in the performance of the 4 brand of the machines are significant. This is our data. We will enter the data in the SPSS. This is the I have entered the data, and then we apply the two-way ANOVA. कैसे लगाएंगे definitely let you know. And this is our table. This is our table. So this is the p-value for the machines 0.451. This is the p-value for the machinist, that is 0.853. Now let me know all the machines are equally performed or not, or all the machinists are equally performed or not. Please let me know. It is significant or non-significant. Please let me know. Unmute your mic and
Not significant.
non-significant. It means all the machines performing same and all the machinists are working same. So is any need to compare if they are same? Is there any need to compare pairwise comparison?
No, ma'am.
No. Because all machines have same performance, so there is no need to apply the postdoc test. Now two-way ANOVA with interaction. With interaction means here we are taking one observation per cell. If in this data, here we are taking one observation per cell, but sometime what happen? We are considering multiple observation per cell. Multiple observation per cell. So interaction definitely will present in your data, that is denoted by gamma Ij. And we check the coefficient, this one, this is plays a significant role in your model or not. And this is our example. Researcher at the trauma center wish to develop a program to help the brain damage trauma victims regain on acceptable level of independence. An experiment involving 72 subjects with the same degree of brain damage was conducted, and the objective was to compare different combination of the psychiatric treatment and the physical therapy, and each subject was assigned to one of 24 different combination of 4 types of the psychiatric treatment and the 6 physical therapy programs. There are 3 subjects in each combination. The response variable is the number of months elapsing between the initiation of therapy and the time at which the patient was able to function independently, and the results were followed. Data I think I have not given in this one. So two-way ANOVA we will apply in the day after tomorrow. And what is ANCOVA? मैंने इसको, where is, I think slides are missing. These slides are missing. This is the result. If we apply the two-way ANOVA with interaction, so these are the result. This type of result. This is the treatment. This is the poison versus treatment. This is our interaction like that. And it is significant. It means interaction is present in your data. If interaction is present, then you can't avoid that one. I will give you one example and also run on the SPSS day after tomorrow. But this is ANCOVA. Sometime what happened, we confuse that this is covariate or variable or the factor. So what is the ANCOVA? This is the analysis of the covariance. ANCOVA is a statistical test related to the ANOVA. If test whether there is a significant difference between groups after controlling of variance for variance explained by a covariate. A covariate is nothing but at the continuous variable that correlates with the dependent variables. For example, suppose that growth rates of the groups of animals receiving different diets are to be compared, and the observed difference in growth rates can be attributed to diet if all the animals treated are similar to some observable aspects such as age, initial weight, or the parent, which influence the growth rates. And these auxiliary variables are also called the concomitant variable. And if all groups of animals receiving different diets differ in these aspects, it is desirable to compare the growth rate after eliminating these differences. Otherwise, you are not able to get it the actual result. If this is heavy for you, then I am giving the simple example. Suppose that the student taking the tuition, obviously that tuition will affect the performance of the student, and you are comparing those students with the simple one, those are not taking the tuition. So that tuition is the covariate. Firstly you remove that covariate, that effect, and then you apply the ANOVA table. That is important. So covariate play very important role, and this is the covariance, this is the model, and xij is your covariate, and I am multiplying some beta, and by using this testing of beta we are able that ki covariate is present in your data or not. This is the example. An engineer is studying the effect of cutting speed on the rate of the metal removal in the machining operation. The rate of the metal removal is also related to the hardness of the test specimen. 5 observations are taken at each cutting speed, and the amount of the metal removed and the hardness of the specimen, जितना ज्यादा हार्ड होगा that cutting difficult हो जाएगी आपके पास ना. तो these are, x is your covariate and y is your dependent variable, that is the variable for our interest. And after removing the effect of the x, we check the significance of the variable, that is significant or not. 4 machinists are significant or not, but obviously removing the hardness, the effect of the x, we check that. And again by the p value you can easily check that it plays the significant role or not. This is the analysis of the covariance. This is from my side. Thank you. Because MANOVA and MANCOVA are very heavy, firstly we run on the SPSS and let you know what is the application of these one, and then you are able to understand the MANOVA, multivariate analysis of the variance, and multivariate analysis of the covariance. Now the session is open for the question answering. You may put your question on the chat box. I am here to answer it.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please.
May I ask like this?
Yeah, please.
Could you please shed some light on the different types of post hoc tests?
Definitely, I will let you know day after tomorrow if possible. There are so many postdoc tests, 2K test, 2KB test, bone foreign test. Only these are different by changing the statistic. Suppose that you are making the statistic t test, you are taking the square root in the denominator of the variance. They are sometime taking the mode, sometime other things they are using, only the way of the statistic. Now Schaffer test is also one of the postdoc test. So many tests are mentioned in the SPSS, but the question arises that which test is better? Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Which test is better? 2K test is better, but most of the experimenter use the Schaffer test is also. Is it? But I think that 2K test is better, but you can't compare that कि 2K Schaffer से more मतलब better है, the power is that depend upon the data to data. Why standard deviation is calculated? Sorry for asking such silly question. That is not the silly question, that is very important question ki why we calculate the standard deviation. Why we have to calculate the standard deviation? May you understand by the my screen is visible to all or not?
Oh, ma'am, it's not visible.
It's not visible. Just
Not visible, ma'am.
okay, beta. Okay, I'm getting. Just one minute. I'm sharing the screen again and let me know if it is visible or not. Okay. Now it is visible or not?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Yes, ma'am.
The question is that why we are using the standard deviation. Are you able to? I'm writing something. Are you able to see it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is this one?
Chi-square.
Me.
Mean. This
Sigma.
is this one.
Mean.
What is this one? This is this one.
Sigma.
Is it? Sometimes what happen when we are taking the data? What is the mean of this one? इसको चेंज कर देते हैं या 6 ले लेते हैं. What is the mean of this one? इसको और चेंज करते हैं, होल फिगर आ जाए. 4 आ गया. 5 आया. मीन क्या है? What is the mean?
5 plus 10, 15 divided by 3, 5.
This is 11. 5 and 6 are 2, 3.
Okay.
Is it 4 or not?
Yes, ma'am.
It is 4. So, do you have any data like that? 10. What happened? 10, 0, 2. What is the mean of this one? What is the mean of this one? 4 again?
Again 4. Yes, ma'am.
So what about, let's plot the data. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm taking, this is the marks of first student. Suppose that out of 10. Is it? So it's 2. Then 3. Oh, sorry. First, this one, 2. First student. The marks is, मैंने ना ये उल्टा ले लिया है, यहाँ पे लेना था. 1, 2. तो like that. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, 6, like that. And this is 10, 0, 2, 4. So means are same. If you are saying that each and every student, the marks of each and every student lie near 4, here also you are saying the same thing. The central value is 4 and each and every student the marks lies near 4. Is it in this case? It is okay in this case. Is it okay in this case?
No, ma'am.
So
Outlier.
not the outlier. May be possible one student get 10 by 10. It may be possible. So this is not the outlier, but the deviations are more.
Okay.
When you will find out the variance of this data and the variance of this data, तो किस data की ज़्यादा आएगी? Which data have more variance? This one. And the scale, because we are taking the deviation from their mean and taking the square and then mean. So the square root of this one is standard deviation. So standard deviation is as required. Is it clear or not?
Yes.
Now
Clear,
the
ma'am.
next question, please. Because measure of dispersion is as important as the measure of central tendency. That's why the standard deviation is calculated. You can't ignore the standard deviation. Any other question, please? Please ask the question. Ma'am will share to you the, I think one participant put that, ki please share the PPT. Ma'am will share the recording. Any other question? Please ask the question. I will happy if you ask the question. Any question. Don't think that it's silly or not. Please ask the question. How do you define the outliers? By using the box plot. We define the outliers. This is very small data. That's why I'm not saying that this is the outlier, because out of 10, anyone can get the 10. If you are collecting the data of the 50 students or the participant, and all have near 80, but one has the more out, the paper is difficult, and one student getting 100 by 100, that is the outlier. Explain the sample size. In which sense sample size? Ma'am, please tell the books which you refer for this topic. I didn't refer any book. That is my own notes. But if you can follow the book, I can't comment that ki S.C. Gupta, V.K. Kapoor. But if you are non-strategist, then definitely you can. I will refer that S.C. Gupta, V.K. Kapoor, or Goon Gupta, Das Gupta. You can prefer that one. And explain the sample size. Sample size, calculation of sample size you are asking? Calculation. By you, there are separate lecture of calculation of the sample size. By using the power or minimize the error, you are able to calculate the sample size. That is the formula. How to make the samples in the primary data. That is the formula to calculate the sample size. That is a separate lecture on the sample size. You can request to your organizer to organize one lecture on the sample size. That should better sound.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Whenever we are doing an ANOVA calculation, first we should know what is the degree of freedom. Then we should know whether if it is there
that
is
definitely I let you know ki what is the degree of freedom. Degree of freedom is nothing but the sample size, is it? But we are reducing that sample size by 1 or 2 if we are estimating the parameter by using the statistic sample. Suppose that if I am using the mean mu, then whole sample size we will use. But if I replacing mu by the statistic, the sample mean x bar, then the one size of sample will reduce and it will become the degree of freedom.
Okay. So basically, when you are doing the statistic, when you are doing the sample,
estimating when we देखिए, you are using the sample.
Yeah.
फिर you are again using the sample values, estimating the parameter.
Correct.
So that's why we are minimize the error, na?
Oh, to minimize the others. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And if the samples are more than two, first we have to do whether the variance test and then only go for the post hoc test, right? Ma'am?
Note the sample is greater than 2 when we have two group,
Two groups. And that there
more
are
than two
more
groups.
than two groups,
Two
then we
group,
have to
then
do
we
the
go for the ANOVA
okay, fine.
analysis of variance.
Thank you, ma'am.
Most welcome. Upcoming topics in a list so we can read them and understand these classes efficiently. I am new to all these topics. No, don't worry. That is very higher topic, Manova and Mankova. I think if you are able to understand all these topics, that not difficult to understand the. And you can again, I will say that you can ask your organizer or say your organizer that please advance data analysis one more workshop they can conduct, explain about the dependent and the independent sample, not the data. Observation can't be dependent or independent, but definitely the samples are dependent or independent. If you are considering the same sample, that it is obviously that is same observation that you are considering in the first sample, same you are using in the second one, that is dependent. If you are using the separate one, that is independent. Suppose you have a 10 group of person, you are applying a treatment on that one, and b is also, again I am not taking the person, I am just saying that you are taking one pot, and you apply some seeds on that one, and after some days you are applying the again same seeds on the same pot, that is your dependent. If you are taking the different pots, that is independent. Sample units are independent, na? One sample are independent from the other one. Are you able to, Sukumar? Are you able to understand the dependent and independent? Not data, it's sample. If you are considering one sample, there is no need to check that they are independent or dependent.
Okay,
If
ma'am.
you are using the one sample.
Okay, ma'am.
You are worried when you are using the two samples. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I am again saying that the recording will share to you. As the ma'am said. Any other question? Otherwise, today lecture is finished from my side.
Ma'am, you were mentioning about the name of the textbook. Could you just repeat that
Goon
once?
Gupta, Das Gupta. I can put on the. My screen is visible to all or not?
Yes.
Fundamental of Statistics. Two volumes are there, volume 1 and volume 2. ये तो PDF ही ओपन हो गया लो. It's opening. Let's see. This whole PDF or the 1 or 2 page. Let's see. You can put on the Google.
Okay, ma'am.
Goon Gupta, Das Gupta. This is volume 2. This one. नीचे आ रही है. Just 1 minute. This one. ये वाली है.
Okay, fine.
This one. Goon Gupta, Das Gupta. AM Goon and MK Gupta, B Gupta. 2 volumes are there, volume 1 and volume 2.
Right. Thank you, ma'am.
Any other? Now it's okay? Topic name which were completed in these two classes. I think first class we tried to cover the visualization of the data graphs and descriptive statistics, and today lecture testing of the hypothesis. So we try one sample test, two sample test, and the multi-sample test, jet test, t-test, and ANOVA. Any other question? Where are the organizers? We should bind up.
Yes, ma'am. I think all the queries has been cleared.
Okay.
Now we can find out. Tanisha?
That was indeed a very informative and enriching session. We sincerely thank Dr. Anju Goyal ma'am for taking out her valuable time and sharing her knowledge with us. It was truly a great learning experience.
One participant is saying that, can you repeat again, please? What? Khush Sani, please mention that which thing you want from my side to explain. Okay, topic's name. Okay. Visualization of the data, graphs, and the descriptive statistics. We try measure of the central tendency, measure of dispersion, measure of skewness, and measure of kurtosis in the first lecture. And in the second lecture, testing of the hypothesis, both type of errors, critical reason, acceptance reason, and then null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, then the testing, jet test, t-test, chi-square, f-test, and ANOVA table. One sample, two sample test, and multi-sample test. Yes, please continue.
With that, we come to the end of day 2 of our workshop. Thank you everyone for joining and staying so attentive throughout the session. A gentle reminder, our Saturday morning session on SPSS will be held as informed earlier, followed by the evening session as scheduled. Please don't forget to fill out the feedback form that will be shared in the chat box and in your WhatsApp chat as well. Also, since we have a festival tomorrow, we wish you all a very happy and joyful celebration. We'll see you all tomorrow with another insightful topic and engaging discussion. Oh, not tomorrow, Saturday. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you.
Thank you
Can you
so
please?
much.
Yeah. I'm sorry I missed that.
The class is on Saturday from 10 to 12.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
We will
And
share
please
the
don't
link in the group.
Don't miss that class. We will run all 2 days topic on the SPSS. We'll try to cover. Okay, may I leave?
Yes, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am, for the session.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
please fill the feedback form on time. We will close the form at 9 p.m. sharp.
Excuse me. Is there a class on Saturday in the evening also?
Yes, in the morning, SPSS class will be held, and in the evening, our class will be held.
So, is it tomorrow
Because
Saturday already? I have
Yesterday's
something planned.
session is
I'm sure
scheduled.
everybody else also has something planned.
Is there a class
It will be very difficult to come on Saturday morning.
Okay.
Can something not be done about this? Because I will not be able to join, and I'm sure somebody else must also be facing this issue.
Okay, we'll discuss and inform you about Oh, this.
Yeah, because I have already arranged for a class, and this is with some other people in other departments of the colleges.
Okay, actually, we rescheduled yesterday
Also,
session
na?
on
We
Saturday.
will provide the recording.
Okay, perfect. If you can provide the recording, that would be very nice.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
we
we
will
will
provide the
definitely.
recording for every session.
Great. Thank you so very much. That would be very good. Thank you.
Okay,
Tomorrow there is class.
Thank Any more queries?
Tomorrow is there a class?
No, no, tomorrow is no class.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, now we will ending this meeting.